Hello everyone and welcome back to another Dark and Darker video. Today I am on a brand new bard and I have these music pieces on, and I know bard is not meta right now, nothing like that, but also running solo high roller crypts is definitely not meta in the first place. And then here we have our perks and skill. And I have 2 music memories on, and I have lore mastery on, and this is actually on purpose. This is so I have a chance to run away from the big, mean, scary teams in high roller. I'm probably gonna die a lot anyways, though. It happens. I'm not too worried about it, and I'll level up pretty quick. Let's get started. So today we are going to talk about the new quest system, which I think is great. And it has a lot of things in common with Escape from Tarkov's quest system, which is not so great, but also this is a first iteration. And keep in mind, Escape from Tarkov's quest system has been out for a couple of years now, and it's still probably worse than this quest system is, which is saying a lot. So let's talk about the really good upsides of the quest system and the downsides. Good upsides. There's actually something to progress towards now and something to move towards. Wow, I got a Torque of Soul right off the bat there. Not great rolls or anything, but hey, we'll take it. And so, first off, let's talk about the quests and what you need to do. So, like, the first one is you gotta kill some skeletons, and you gotta do some things like that, right? Not very tough in the first place. Okay, that's cool. And then we have some ones that get much harder after that. Things like collect 15 leather caps and 15 campfires. And that is the first problem with this system with the quests is you got to turn in all the items at once if you want to turn items in. And you might be thinking, okay, I'll just go buy them from the shop, then I'll collect some money and I'll go buy a whole bunch of those from the shop. So if you haven't played Escape from Tarkov, that actually doesn't work. They've implemented a system extremely similar to Escape from Tarkov, where you need to go ahead and find these items in raid, which I think was a horrible decision for Escape from Tarkov, but it wouldn't be so bad if the system wasn't exactly like how it works in Escape from Tarkov, where you gotta go ahead and you gotta stash all of those items in your stash, and you gotta use up like half your stash space for that. I have confidence they'll fix that, but I don't think it's such an easy thing to fix in the first place. A lot of people seem to think that this is like the easiest thing to fix ever. That seems like it would take some actual coding or something along those lines, and it's probably not that easy to fix. Let's get this thing to fireball itself. Come on, keep fireballing yourself. And yeah, because it's not so easy to fix, that makes it a very different thing to deal with. Okay, and we'll just boost ourselves up there. And I do not have the one on that lets you skip a whole bunch of the song, which is really annoying. I wish I was level 15, but I am not. Torches. So, hopefully they will go ahead and fix that issue. That's the first issue. And by the way, guys, this patch has been incredible. Absolutely phenomenal. One of the best patches they have ever done. That doesn't mean that it doesn't come with problems. It has its own problems it came with, and the quest system is probably the biggest problem that it came with. But the quest system overall is phenomenal as well. It's just very new, early iteration, and so it needs some help. Okay, let's get these mummies out of here and loot this gold chest. Oh, we got some... Did I aggro that? That is a spear skeleton. Let's go ahead and go through here. Hopefully the mummies keep blocking them off. Luckily, I have fast interaction speed, so that's very useful right now. Go ahead and do this. And then another problem with the quest system is I think the current iteration is just too difficult for how long the wipes have been. Now, maybe they're planning on making this one like a 3-month wipe or something, and maybe I am saying this a little hastily and they actually have something in mind and they've planned this out better than I think they have. That could definitely be the case, and I wouldn't put it past them. But currently what I'm seeing is that some of these quests would take your average player like 5 months to finish. And that's fine. You always need something to work for, and your average player should not be the ones that are pushing so hard to finish all of the quests, unlike your players who are like super sweaty. You know, like your Twitch streamers should still have something to work towards as well, right? But some of these are just very, very difficult to get through. Even the 15 leather caps, 15 campfires one would be extremely difficult for an average player to get through and would slow them down a ton on later quests, which would really, really harm them. And what I'm talking about there is some quests later on have some things like gather the equivalent of like 100 cobalt ore and things like that. Now, you could go ahead and buy those from other players, but you're talking what? Spending like 10,000 gold, and that's just a mid-tier quest. What about the one that comes after that? And from what I've seen, by the way, this isn't on the wiki yet or anything, and I haven't gotten to this quest yet. There is one that requires you kill the Lich 15 times. You might be thinking, okay, that's something to push for your more experienced players, your better players at the game, and it might be something good for them. Even your more experienced players, you're like full-time Twitch streamers, that would be pretty difficult to do. Now, if you're like a super top-tier Twitch streamer and you're like really good at this game and you farm bosses, you wouldn't have too hard of a time. But if you aren't like a super top-tier Twitch streamer, you would have a hard time as well. So the problem with that is you gotta kill it not just 15 times, but with your group, you'd have to kill it 45 times, and probably more than that even, because it would just take you so many kills unevenly to get it killed for everyone in your party. Like, you know, if you have a cleric in your group, they're probably less likely to kill the boss than, say, you know, like a ranger would be, or someone else who's really good at dumping damage into the boss. And wow, I just got hit by that. I should know better. I've played this game long enough. Let's go ahead and heal up. And yeah, so you'd have to kill it like 45 times. If that is actually the case, that it has that many kills that you need to get. If you need to get 15, that is way too high, even for your like super top tier players. That is a bit too high right now. Now, those things are going to get fixed over time though. That's the thing, guys. So it's not something where you go out here and you complain like crazy about. You just go, hey, here's a problem, guys. Hope you guys can fix it. And eventually they are going to fix it. That's the thing. Unlike, you know, the Escape from Tarkov devs, when they say they are going to fix something and make the game better over time, how about that? They actually do it. It's not like they just sit there for 12 years and don't do anything. Okay, some people have already come through here. We're going to re-loot this lion's head in case it has anything good. Yeah, let's grab it. It's a purple. Oh. Hey, a better drum. I don't know if that actually does anything for me. I don't think that does do anything for me. But okay. This is why I like to re-loot people's chests, by the way. Sometimes they just leave really good items for your character that don't do anything for them. And you're just like, hey, you know, good for me. Wow, that is a lot of money out of that chest. I don't particularly want to drop anything for silver coins. Okay, this area is supposed to have a static portal, if I remember correctly, but I'm not hearing it. Might be on the other side. Portal spawning in that direction. I kind of just want to leave, though. I need money on this character. No static portal. That's annoying. Open, 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 open them. Let me out. And I'm gone. Those guys didn't have a chance to catch me. That's why I like the one that lets you go really fast with your opening, by the way. I think that's actually really nice for high roller ratting. And people seem to think that Bard is like super bad now. I think he's still really good for ratting. As far as like, you know, a 3-man comp or anything, though, he's so bad compared to what he used to be. And look at that, we're level 3 with 27 XP. I started that off with 0 XP, and because I can start in a high roller, I get more XP now, which is great. I love that you can start in a high roller. Okay, and here's what we got. 3 Vigor, 3 Magical Power, 0.5% Magical Damage Reduction, 4 Max Health. That's pretty good, that Ring of Vitality. It's not a Ring of Courage anymore, which is what used to be really good. I think that just gives you health now. I don't know if there's a new, like, strength one that gives you extra damage. I don't know yet. This one's not too bad, this owl pendant. And let's go ahead and see what money we get from selling this stuff. $229 gold, and then plus we had a whole bunch more in our inventory. So we are doing just fine. Some of the stuff I just want to go ahead and put away. And I can't trade until I'm level 15, which is really annoying, but that's just the way things are sometimes. Let's reorganize this stuff. I think the Ballad of Courage I should be really close to getting, and with memory capacity bonus, I think I should be able to get it. Oh, the padded leggings don't have knowledge anymore. That's why I can't get it. Let's go ahead and wear these instead, and we'll be all good then. And we should be good to go. There we go. Now we've got it. We'll do Song of Shadow next, and then Piercing Shrill. And the biggest upgrade for Bard, guys, is always going to be a ranged weapon. I think ranged weapons are huge, and I have some bolts in my stash. And look at that. You can put bolts in your stash now. That's another big change that I hadn't recognized happened. But let's go ahead and buy a crossbow just because I have bolts already, so I won't have to spend any more cash on that. And then let's go ahead and get some health pots. Okay, let's turn it back. And there's a lot of problems with the quest system, but once again, guys, it is a brand new system. It is not something that is going to stay this way forever, and anyone thinking it is going to stay this way forever, they're just not correct. That's not how this is going to work. They are going to change things. They aren't like the Escape from Tarkov devs. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't talk about the problems that things have here. Now, I pointed out 2 issues. One is that you can't turn items in one by one, so they take up too much space in the stash. So you're going to have to buy like the second stash extension, which will cost 3,000 gold, which makes a lot of the earlier on quests really, really difficult. And then another thing is some of the quests are just plain too hard. And then one more topic. Let's talk about, hey, how are these quests devised in the first place? And what else did this nerf? And I think another big nerf is it way nerfed your like wizard and such classes because there are no quests for alchemist right now. Alchemist doesn't have anything, and some people seem to think this is on accident. I don't think it's on accident, but it has really, really nerfed your like wizards and all that because they can't buy their blue spellbooks or whatever anymore, even after doing quests, because there are no quests. So they're just kind of stuck with terrible, trashy items from the shop, so they have to buy them from other players, which makes those items way more expensive. It's just something that happens, which is really annoying for those players. And so I think what's probably going to happen there is I think they are trying to add some more quests to that with the next map that gets added, the snowy map. That seems most likely to me. I don't think they just forgot them. But what that does for right now is all of your players who are playing Wizard on this wipe are really put down, and they are getting slammed more than they should by a long shot. And it is hurting them a ton. So I think a good intermediary measure might be to just give them another option for right now, you know, like maybe just have green spellbooks unlocked by default or something like that, so they at least have something. Maybe don't give them blues, because getting to blues is pretty difficult. Okay, what do we got here? We'll take that recurve. We'll take the buckler as well. And yeah, maybe just give him something for right now, because wizards have already been getting nerfed like absolute crazy to an absurd degree, and they need a hand, honestly. And by the way, another reason why I like playing Bard for ratting is because it's just very good for opening up those big chests, and you're not playing Rogue, which means you start off with a Rapier, you have good ranged weapon options, you're just very good against PvE compared to some of these other characters. And I really need to hit level 5 here so I can get upgraded. And yeah, let's go back to talking about that 15 Lich kills one. I think that wouldn't be as much of a problem if they went ahead and made it so if someone in your group kills the Lich or the Ghost King or whatever, if it counted for everyone. Wow. Okay, I'm back. What happened there was my power actually blipped for a moment, and I have an APS. However, let's get out of here. However, I forgot to put my router on my APS as much as my computer is on that. So let's go ahead and get away from here real quick, because I hear some players coming up on me, and I was just out of the game for a bit there, so I couldn't hear them from far away, but I've got to leave now. Let's go ahead and get away from there. And yeah, okay, so my router was not on the APS, so it had to restart, and I have a fairly slow router, so that was not the most intelligent thing I've ever done. I went ahead and quickly put it on the APS, but yeah, my backup power, I should say, whatever you call it, I think it's APS. Wow, okay, this is a problem. Let's go ahead and steal his health shrine too. Get this open. Oh, is this a new static exit? Look at that. Looks like a new static exit, and it's red on the map, so I'd assume it's an Inferno down. Interesting. I like how they're putting the static exits on the map now. I see another blue one. Interesting. We're all buffed up now. Don't think I have to aggro that mage, so I don't really want to. Well, looks like I did anyways. And he died all on his own. And yeah, I think they're designing the quest for people who are playing for multiple months at a time. Now, I don't think playing for multiple months at a time is something they're really looking for yet. Maybe they are. I don't know 100% for certain. But for right now, that seems a little bit wonky because so far the wipes have been like 3-4 weeks. And when you're setting up the quest to be for like multiple months, you're not going to get very good data then because you're not going to get to see how many people actually complete them because there's one after another on some of these things. Okay, let's go. I think this is a static extract. I think we're out. And I love the static extracts, by the way. They make things a heck of a lot easier for rats, and I'm getting out most of the time now, whereas before it was very difficult. This guy looks like he DC'd or something. Nah, he's doing just fine. A lot of solos playing, by the way, interestingly enough. And I didn't get all that much loot that time because I DC'd out. That was not intelligent of me to not put that on my backup power supply. Let's run it back. Also, with the quest system, I hope they move away from the found in raid aspect of things. That is something that Tarkov has, where you got to go ahead and say, find your 15 campfires in raid, your 15 leather caps in raid, and then you can turn them in. And that is how it works in this game right now. I think it would be much better off if you could buy them from the shop, if you could go ahead and do that and turn them in. That fixes up a lot of issues in the first place. Of course, being able to turn them in one by one would also fix up 90% of the issues with that quest. But I also think just doing it where you can't buy them in the shop and all of that really hinders the game. And some people like this because they kind of like being able to strive after it and, you know, move towards it little bit by little bit. But what it ends up causing is, first off, it removes some methods to do these quests faster, which I think are always a good thing. I like clever methods to do things faster in games like this. And I know not everyone likes that. Some of them just like it to go simple and easy for everyone and just whatever is at the top of the head, okay, I can go find it in the dungeon. They like it to be simple like that. I personally don't like that, and I like being able to scheme around it. I need to redo this guy. This is a really good spawn to start off on. And I hope they don't go in the direction of found and raid like Tarkov has in other directions as well, because it has caused some big issues. Basically what they've done is they have an auction house, right? Except what they've done is they've kind of removed part of the auction house over time, because what they've done is they've made it so, first off, high-level items can't be traded, and then also items that aren't found in raid can't be traded in the first place. So if you kill someone for their items, right, you can't trade them. And the reason why they've done that is because Escape from Tarkov has a massive hacker issue. Now, I have spoken a lot about the issues with people cheating in this game, but it isn't the same, because the people cheating in this game are not using like third-party software to cheat. Instead, what they're doing is they are making big groups of players before the game even starts. And I think they've fixed that issue with this patch, because now High Roller is actually getting played, so you can't just go ahead and queue at the same time to get the same lobby repeatedly. That's not a thing anymore. Go ahead and grab that. And I really like that that is not a thing anymore, because that was really bad. Let's go ahead and jump over these spikes. We don't actually have to kill this skeleton. We can just go ahead and run him through this. I thought for certain that was going to kill him with just one stab in the head. I was very wrong. Two knowledge heavy boots is pretty good. Go ahead and take that as well, but we're getting a lot of two-handed barbarian weapons, which I do not really care for. Let's go ahead and drink one of our low health potions. And what happens when you go ahead and add the found in raid aspect of things is it really causes PvP to be devalued almost entirely, and makes it so that you have to use those items. Now, the difference between that with a game like this and a game like Tarkov is, in Tarkov, you can at least use the items. There's no guarantee that those items would be for your character, though, in this game, which makes it all the worse if they end up going in that direction in this game. I sure hope they don't decide to do that. And Tarkov is just covering up a massive cheater issue by doing that in the first place, which is a massive problem in and of itself. I don't know why anyone plays that game anymore when 100% of lobbies have a cheater in them. And we have a mage on us. Let's go ahead and shoot him. Okay. Man, how's this guy not dead yet? Okay, he bombed himself. And what I would say to people who want a system like Escape from Tarkov where you can't sell the high tier items or anything like that, if we're gonna go in that direction, trade should be removed entirely, because then at least something would happen where they set up good systems for a game with no trade in it. I don't want trade to be removed though. That would make the game worse in my opinion. I know a lot of people want that, but I definitely would not like to see that. Let's go ahead and sit down here real quick and get our health up. Also, with the new quest system, some of them are set up so that you have to kill so many enemies that it really slows people down. I don't know if they want to go in this direction because they might just be setting it up right now for 3 months at a time, and they don't want to put in any extra work to make it more useful for right now rather than setting things up for later when the game will be a full fleshed out game. Maybe setting something up in a way that it's like, okay, you can run multiple quests at once rather than one at a time, and you have to kind of go back and redo something you've already done. Maybe that would be a good solution as well, because some of these quests are very difficult, but also there's something you'd be doing already. So maybe if it was just like, okay, you unlock the new quest and you already have part of it done and you get to keep part of that, maybe that would also solve that problem. That's another direction they could go in. Also, if you're wondering why I'm not Shriek of Weaknessing every enemy, it is because I do not have Charismatic Performance on, which really hurts Shriek of Weakness because there's that long note at the beginning. So I don't know if it's actually worth using for just like one skeleton at a time, because see how much longer this takes? It's like 3 times as long to use it. Let's go ahead and put on that leather cap. And let's see if this room over at the top right is looted. This is one of the best loot rooms in the entire game because it is just so darn easy to cheese. That is a dead body there. Let's go ahead and see. Now, I think this guy just died to mobs based on him not being looted, so let's go ahead and drag the skeleton champion here real quick. You know, we always want that chance of getting a golden key. And we'll just smack him a few times. Also, guys, just want to say again that this is one of the best patches that they have done ever. It added quite a bit of content. The static extracts are really good. The high roller changes versus normal lobby changes, I think, have really fixed the issue of Timmy's versus Chad's. If you want something that is just easy now, you want something that is not difficult and that you can just do casually, that is an option now. Like, you are all good if you just want to play casually, and there is a mode where you just do not really need to play very much, and where there's no gear disparity, really. It's just gray and white items. And I think that's really good for the game because that keeps our player counts higher. And also, there's like an easy way to get used to the game now. I think that's huge with those new lobbies. But I'm going to be doing a separate video on that, so that's not the full topic for today. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of quests. Like, if you guys think there's anything that should change. Maybe you guys have encountered some more issues with it than I have, because I just haven't been playing that much. I've been away for Thanksgiving. And honestly, and I'm out. And that might have looked weird again to you guys. That is because I said I connected my router to the backup power supply. I had not connected my router to the backup power supply, and my power just again blipped. I am ending this video here, and I am connecting my router to the backup power supply now. I am not going to just say I did it, and I'm going to actually do it this time. And we're not going to have the internet go out again in the middle of a match and then somehow miraculously survive. I don't know how I lived that, guys. But yeah, anyways, guys, let me know how you guys are liking the new quest system. And let me know if you guys have any comments, concerns, anything like that. Maybe I'll do another discussion video on it. But yeah, anyways, guys, see ya! And make certain to subscribe for more.